Dry ass introduction. Welcome to another episode of the Hell Means Nothing podcast. We had a lot of delays here. I was
Nothing.
actually a little bit late. Yeah, see, that's a delay. I actually was actually somewhat on time, and then everything just went to hell because I didn't give myself like an hour uh, to make sure there's any kinks, you know, taken out. So that is my fault. Don't worry about it. We're gonna correct that. Definitely trying to get better. Let me give you guys. Let me see what I got right here. Everything's set up different. It's a different thing where I can upload stuff. So I might upload this thing that Regina did. I keep saying that. So, but it's all different. The whole workflow is a little different. So please bear with us with a little bit of technical difficulty here. Let's set the mood right. Let's light a candle. Calm down this energy. Well, damn it. The damn ladder is not fucking working. All right. Let's go. There we go. You got that on there. Okay. Woosah. As that funny ass dude does. He always does the woosah thing. Make sure there's no delay. This whole workflow is so different now. I can't touch on a lot of things that I want to touch on. It's a logo thing. Let's go to the chat. We had someone in the chat at one time. I think it was Jen, but I'm not sure. No, that's Black Rambo. So I think maybe Jen and them might be coming in. I don't know, but it's like I'm starting over again with a little bit of this audience. Shout out to @Shannon55. Don't know where you at, but we're going through it right now. We're just trying to figure out this bullshit. Okay. For Shannon,
Or
I don't
what's
even
good,
got the
Shannon
camera.
55?
Don't even got the camera really where I want it at. It's like a little bit high left or right here. I'm somewhat centered, but I don't know. What's up? How you doing, Scott?
I'm chilling, but I'm a little bit down today because I got some news that one of my very good friends and longtime soldiers, Samuel Fairbank, first sergeant type, he passed away right before this Memorial Day holiday. So shout out to his family and rest in power to a dear friend, First Sergeant Samuel Fairbank.
Hey man, shout out to the fallen comrade. It is Memorial Day. I had to remind actually a military person that Memorial Day is for the military. Um, they tried to hijack it and privatize it or something. I don't know what it was, but I had to make sure that they knew it was for and created for by the military. Also, let's just throw that little flavor in there. The Memorial Day practice was really done from African American troops after the Civil War, and then they kept it going. So, just a little bit more information for you guys to get into. Someone's in here in the chat. That's Jen at Too Evil or something like that. Hey, bro, let me put this down on here. So I don't want to. She says, "Hey, bro," and then she hit me with the. So sorry, Scott. So sorry for the fallen comrade, Scott from Jen. Okay.
Thank you.
You're hella delayed, man. Is there a delay on when you're hearing me? Let me keep
Negative. I
on.
can hear you in real time.
Okay. Um. But anyway, the history of it is basically it started from the African Americans paying homage to their fallen after the Civil War. So Good little tidbit for you guys to know. Little history, bump, bump, a little something for you guys to learn about. Be a little better person over it. You dig? Did you know that, Scott? Before we had that
Yeah, I
conversation,
did.
did you know that it
I
was
knew it was created by the military. I I did not know that it was African Americans that had started it.
well? Why wouldn't you? I mean, why would
And
you?
so that. Oh, that was a new tidbit of information that I gathered, and that I'm very glad to have learned. I'm always glad to learn something new.
Yeah, definitely good for the spectrum of people believing all the historical shit. It definitely makes you at least it seem like it's always someone got to be first, right? Everybody wants to be the first to do something. I was the first to smack the shit out of a motherfucker. I was the first. Everybody wants to be the first. So no, but it's a good thing that I learned that people that share my same hue have done such things. So that's definitely dope. Shout out to Jen and her husband, two of my dear friends. Um, always wishing them well. They always going on cool ass adventures. One day they're gonna make an adventure over towards my way, so we can chill out. Or I got to make it. No, I've been up there a few times. Yeah, she's got to make it my way this time. But definitely shout out to Jen and Gil because they're wonderful people. Also, another big shout out to Scott's fallen comrade because again, Memorial Day is tomorrow, and this is exactly what this is for. To remember those who have paid the ultimate price for their position in history and for their country, for their family, and for their damn self. You know what I mean? And really willing to take those risks. A lot of people talk it won't be about. I was one of them. I went all the way up to MEPS. I can tell you, the talk was good, but I wasn't about that life. So I respect those who are about that life. That's a fact. I respect the fuck out of you guys because I wasn't.
Facts,
I
bro.
wasn't having it. And the end result and the residuals paid. There's not enough they can give them in retirement that's going to pay for the trauma that they're going to have to go through to afford people the luxury to be able to go out here and say, fuck the military, fuck the war, fuck the gas, fuck this, fuck that. You can walk around because of people that wore those colors. That's a fact. And even some of the janky politicians you don't like, you got to thank them too. Because all the obnoxious shit that we do as countrymen of America, I love my country too. All the bullshit come with it. This is what we got right now. Jump on board. But in the end, you got to be thankful for, the devil and carnage that's coming and that's doing certain things that you like or dislike, because all those essentially guard the freedoms that you get to do and talk about. You know what I mean? So you guys on Memorial Day, y'all really need to say thank you for your service because that's what it's
That's
for.
a fact.
You know what I mean? What say
Thanks
you,
to those
Scott?
Gold Star families, those that have lost fellow countrymen and fellow. I say, shout out to those Gold Star families and shout out to all those people who have a service member that has fallen or has passed away. And, thank you for their, I thank them for their sacrifice as well.
Damn right. And I'm thankful that you made it back. So, all things being fair, we all have our thank yous. You know what I mean? That's a fact. But definitely shout out to the fallen. Shout out to those fighting the good struggle, coming back and trying to figure all this stuff out. You know what I mean? It's not just dead soldiers out there. There's dead spirit out there that people that their spirit's been killed. They need a little lift up. I suggest that people find a veteran to befriend.
Amen.
Find a veteran to befriend. You know what I mean? And really, just take the time, get to know them. You know what I mean? Soldier is just a title they have when they're in the military, but when they get out, they're still just a person, and they need guidance. They need conversation. They need people to understand that they exist and that they going through their problems also. So befriend a veteran if you can. You know what I mean? I would highly suggest it. Um, who's our guy that I always want to? I gotta find him. I'm gonna find him this week. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go to places that I ain't comfortable with my brother. That might have done us wrong a little bit in business, but I want to find Kelly because Kelly was a good guy.
Oh, we
Hopefully
got to
he's still
find
around.
Kelly.
Hopefully he's still around. But Memorial Day,
Still talking shit too.
yeah, Kelly was a good guy. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of stuff on the list today. I think I got the power going right, so everything's charging up. Thank God. Movie Magic definitely made it happen and get it together. Uh, First thing I want to talk about, went to visit a friend today, have a little food conversation and everything, and it was a great experience, man. And I haven't seen him in quite a while. Just moving around, doing what I got to do, and getting stuff together. Plus, on my own journey with my new relationship. So I just wanted to make sure I put the proper time into it before I introduce any bullshit in it. You know what I mean? And it's not that they're bullshit. There's no bullshit in it, but just wanted to make sure that you should always let your mate know that they're first. That's what you guys need to do. So putting that time in that, it made it a more comfortable introduction, especially since it was another female. So and there's another guy there, roommate or you know, friend or whatever it is, but they're there, but they still made my new friend and relationship or old new whatever um welcome, and everything was cool. And that's what you have when you have adult relationships, when no one has to be the bad guy, when it doesn't have to be a
That's a
bunch of
fact.
BS. It's what you call an adult relationship. Trauma, sorry, trauma and drama has been popularized. So a lot of people, when they're dealing with stuff out here, they're just going by the trends that they see on like a reality program or something. They're not really in touch, with themselves. You know what I mean? I was just literally just talking to my significant, and I can really say that, we have great conversations. You know what I mean? Having a great conversation is just as important as a great freak session. Not no Puff Daddy, no Diddy. Um, but it's really important to have good communication. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a fact.
it's a blessing that I can talk about almost anything. And I'm sure I could talk about anything, but what I'm saying is where I feel comfortable. And it's a blessing. You know what I mean? So definitely, shout out to Sandra for that. Good person, good spirit. You know what I mean? So we got a nice little journey that we're on. So we're gonna keep it traveling. But again, being adults and having a good situation is where it's at. It's not about revenge. It's not about who's doing better, who's getting what. Yeah, everybody's gonna have their pride and things that they want to, do on top of that. But the most important thing is always making people in a relationship know that they are the prize. They are the prize. You feel me?
That's right. They're number one.
Okay. Now let me see what we got here on some of our subjects. I did put a thing that we were coming on tonight. We were late, so shame on us. Tomorrow we're gonna be extra on time, extra on time. So just know that we're a work in progress. Now I want to look at what we got coming up today. There was some interesting stuff going on here. All right, let's get to this first thing because I've been missing it every week and it's already been announced and it's going to go on pretty soon. UFC having a match on the White House lawn. Are we back in Rome? Are we back in Rome, people? I've been preaching this. The Colosseum.
Yeah,
Everybody's talking. They talk about history like it's in the past. What if history is
yeah,
right now, just with a different look?
I'm like, come on. It's like, I mean, I'm not against it, but yeah, we are kind of reenacting, the Roman Colosseum
I'm against it,
and
one
the
hundred percent.
gladiators and all of that.
The Capitol
How come?
is. I'm gonna get to it. I'm about to light it up. I'm trying to let you cook, man. I love the dig that my good friend Judy hit me with. I hope you have a good podcast and let other people talk. And it's like, I do. I really do. I can't help what comes the fuck out your mouth, but I really do let other people talk. You know what I'm saying? And I used to get some good views off of it because I let you say what the fuck you want to say. You know what I mean? Um, I'm
Hey,
against it.
it is what it is.
I'm against it. Well, I mean, sometimes because what happens is a lot of people can't gather their thoughts as quick as I might be gathering my thoughts. So they'll start to talk and I'm about to say something. So I'll back off and, hey, what was you saying? And do all that. But a lot of people don't notice that. It is what it is. That's another podcast that I do enjoy. Shout out to Cameron, and Mace and Stat. Uh, what I will say is what I don't like about it is that on a White House lawn, we want to show our dignified best. All right. I know y'all against the whole royalty thing, and y'all saying Trump's trying to be royalty, this, that, the third, and maybe he is. Maybe he's trying to be an emperor. I don't fucking know. Don't really care. I got a couple more years of him, and he's out of here. You know what I mean? So what I like and dislike will be gone just that quickly. Maybe a riot, maybe not. I don't think there's even going to be a riot. He's screwed up so bad with this oil thing and everything else, with the economy and so much stuff that I doubt if he's going to have people crashing out this time. Let's just get that out the way. I think that's over. I don't think that's going to be a worry now, because he's took care of it himself. So shout out to him for that, for screwing up so bad that now no one's going to riot when you leave. No one's going to cry when you leave. You're going to have your pockets of that party because believe it, he hijacked the Conservative Party, but he is not the Conservative Party. So we'll see what they do with it as they will. It's showing in the polls. It's showing with people losing seats. So it's a lot of a lot of wild stuff going on there. But really, we're supposed to show our best, and for us to go out there and show, it's not even a boxing match. This is UFC. This is the most. It's pretty barbaric. I love it. It's a great sport.
Probably as brutal as you can get.
But yes, it's probably as brutal as you can get, as said by Black Rambo. Okay? The name says it all. It is brutal as it get from Black Rambo. Okay? So, yeah, real talk, says it itself, right? So Black Rambo says it's pretty brutal. It's probably pretty fucking brutal. You know what I mean? Like, I personally can watch people smacking each other and calling it a contest or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? But just look at it, people. You guys are objectifying yourselves to the most heinous acts to make a dollar bill. That's where we're at. That's what we cooking with. We're cooking with fish grease and Crisco. You know what I mean? Like it's getting hot in here. This is what we're doing. So now in front of the White House lawn, we're gonna have a spectacle of people bludgeoning each other, and that's what's gonna be our representation around the world. That this is what we do. That remember, the representation for African Americans, Black people, whatever you consider yourself, native of Black man of American land, whatever the fuck name you come up with, right? Um, this is how they seen us. The world got to know us from being Black African Americans from the movies, from the music videos, from the hype train. They didn't know that wasn't the majority of us, but that became us because we seen money in it, right? I.e., hip hop, i.e., everything else creatively that you can do, representing a story, but then emulating it to a mass. You know what I mean? So basically, starting off something that was a little pocket of something and saying, this is all there is. And now this becomes your norm. You know what I mean? So it starts off as like somewhat of a fairy tale of things that happen, but not that much, to this is all that's happening. And when they see you on the White House lawn, pummeling each other, blooding each other up, that's what's going to be considered the new America. That's what they're going to look at you Americans to be. That's the problem I have with the UFC being on the White House lawn. I don't see boxing on the White House lawn. So, I didn't see pugilists back in the day on the White House lawn. I didn't see these things. However, devil's advocate, I do know about Hamilton and duels. So I just think that really it's not a good look. I don't think it's a good look. I think it's showing us prideful
So you believe there's
savagery, and we're already not favorably looking. We're not being looked at favorably and around the world, and this is just going to add to it. What you say, Scott?
And now that I've listened to your point of view and whatnot, I can honestly say that, yeah, it would be kind of hard to be taken seriously around the world, by having something like this on the White House lawn, and then looking at other countries, you don't see other countries doing it.
No,
Even
you
the ones that we
don't.
consider the most third world or savage, you don't see that.
We don't see that. So what I'm saying is, while we're beating our chest, when somebody tries you when you're abroad, when someone tries you when you're outside this country, you say, "Why are you looking at me like this?" Because of what we allowed to represent us to look like. What we allow to represent us, to represent what we look like. I'm surprised that this was even pulled off. I'm surprised this was even pulled off. So now we're going to be looked at as pugilists. We're going to be looked
And
at as the thugs. We're already looked at as thugs, but come on. Now we're going to walk around. And newsflash, most Americans can't fight. We can be trained to fight. But what I'm saying is just walking around, whatever fuck you see on the UFC, trust me, that ain't us. You know what I mean? Fuck around and find out. You'll get shot over here. But we not scrapping like that. You know what I mean? It's a fact. You think I'm wrong, Scott?
right, and it's funny that you have brought that up. I remember, one of my many tours in Korea. I dated a young Korean girl, and she told me that she had learned everything she learned about people of color from the movies. So the only thing
What I
that they
say.
saw over there was New Jack City and things of that sort. And because I always wondered, it's like, okay, well, whenever I'm walking down the street, in downtown Seoul or whatever, why do people just part the Red Sea for me? Is because they don't know any better. All they know is from what they've gotten from the movies.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you know what I think that I think you're right. It would be a poor misrepresentation of the general American public.
It is. It is. And but remember, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna walk around with that on us. We're gonna be wearing that. We're gonna wear that match everywhere we go abroad.
Yeah,
That's what my problem is with
yeah,
it.
that bravado.
I don't mind wearing the violinist. I don't mind wearing the bravado or the mystique of things of a non-violent nature going abroad, because then it doesn't invite or antagonize or invite people to think that, hey, this is what we want to do. Oh, they want to mix it up. They from America. Nah, bro. I'm here to eat, my kippers. I'm not here for, for the back and forth. You know what I mean? I'm not here for that. So, you got to think like this. It's setting the stage. You know what I mean? It's setting the stage. So, I mean, I want you guys to tell me, do y'all agree or disagree with this going on the White House long? I know I'm late to the party, but it hasn't started yet. Okay? So, let me know, me and Black Rambo here, what your thoughts are about that. Um Also, like to give a moment of silence for Rob Bass for, one of the biggest songs when I was coming up was from Rob Bass. Let's give her a moment of silence, please.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
It's supposed to be a moment of silence, Scott. Like I said, brutal. So Rob Bass and Easy Rock. I think Easy Rock had passed. Um, so now it's Rob Bass. Pretty much a one hit wonder, but boy, what a hell of a hit! What a good hit, right? Anybody from my generation, um, maybe just one afterwards or whatever. That song had a hell of an impact. It still has an impact. It's still played at sporting events and everything else. It's still a big song. He was still making money off of it. Um, he passed away from a private battle with cancer that nobody was aware of. So, newsflash, it was not drug overdose or anything else. Um, so shout out to a brother reaching his goals, reaching his dreams, providing us with an excellent song that we still enjoy to this day. Um, and I didn't never heard any too much bad word about Rob Bass at all. So, you know, also a good person, I like to say.
Now,
You know what I mean? So shout out to Rob Bass, man. Good walk. All right. Now, got another one. Sorry, this is not I was talking to Tina about this too, but um apparently teens killed at California mosque and then killed themselves. So some people went to a California mosque. I think it was San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. And I used to live in San Diego. Prayers out to them, whatever religious sect or journey you're on. Please send out good blessings and support for the families of those kids, man. That's a terrible thing. This was in San Diego, and apparently the perpetrators that did the shootings, um, killed themselves afterwards. You know what I mean? So, that's a toughie. Um, Killing has become. We're so desensitized that it's not. The Wild Wild West was you can't see me, so I'm gonna be as brutal as I want to be. Right now, we're just living in a we're desensitized. What were you saying, Scott?
I said it's really a shame because you're right. We have become so desensitized that you know uh, mass murder, or mass murder has become the norm, and it's like it really shouldn't. We they're it's very sad. It's a very
Yeah,
sad
and
commentary.
yes, it is. It is. And again, even single shooting, like just killing for the moment reason, because it's a moment. It's a moment that will pass, and people are dying over something that might clearly just be a moment. You're mad for that moment, but a week, a year, or whatever later, you're over that girl or that guy. You know what I mean? Like, these things are moments. You rob somebody, you get the money, you die over the money, but you're only happy with that when you rob for just that moment. Like, most things that are being killed for, or things that are a moment, if you gave it enough time, probably a minute, you wouldn't even do it. But you're answering your ego. You're answering, Satan's whispering in your ear to go overboard. You know what I mean? Where there's no reward. There's simply no reward for it. One person, when it came to Julio Fulio, we had four gentlemen, I believe, going to either the prison for life, fighting for their life not to get, killed. So it's either be a slave for a system that, pretty much sets you up and you welcome and went into because you addressed your ego more than your common sense. It's a little area in life where your ego becomes more important than your common sense, and it allows you to try new things and be bold and be daring. But it's not a point in your life where you should be, running around executing people as if it's a fucking video game or a hot song. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, and it's an appalling
What are you
state of
proving?
nothing. You're proving nothing, because most of the time what you're hunting looks like you. Now let's go on to something else. All right. Today, or was it yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. No, it might have been. No, it was today. All right, let's just say yesterday for the sake of it being put out anyway tomorrow. Um, Another attempt on Trump's life. Black guy. Let me see who it was. Let me see who it was. But another attempt on Donald Trump's life. All right, this time it was somebody who looks like us. Now we got shit. Now we got issues. Cause look at this. The first people, from what they were pitching about Donald Trump, you would have thought it would have been someone looking like us going after him. No, it was people from his lane or close to his lane that was going after him for whatever reason. Trying to take his head off. Now it's us. It's showing that in full circle, like, nobody is fucking with him right now. That's a hard thing. You know what I mean? Like, and he's dug in, and the people that he have with him is dug in. Shout out to Kennedy. Kennedy sounds like I don't know. He sounds like the person from a Christmas Carol. You know what I mean? Bob Cratchit. He talks like he's already a ghost. Okay, Kennedy. Y'all might want, people out here. Y'all might really want to look into who the fuck is out here and holding these offices. Holding these ranks, holding these positions. These motherfuckers is like the rat pack of ghouls. Like, this is some weird shit, man. Like, this some weird ass shit.
Well, until they start putting term limits on the Senate or the Congress, yeah, that's what we got so far.
Well, they do have term limits on some Senate seats in some states. Facts. So some places do have term, not many, but some do. Did you know that?
Absolutely. I did not know that. I know
Yeah.
that here in Florida, that's one of the things that they're putting on the ballot as far as they're proposing term limits for the Senate and the Congress uh, for our seats in Washington.
Okay. And that's a good thing. But like I said, some states do and some states don't. You know what I mean? And you know what it is. Long standing held power. Most of those people, even when I look at like if I look at like a Nancy Pelosi or somebody like that, I don't really look at them like this is somebody I want governing me. When I get to like 70 something, I want you to come to me for advice and wisdom, but I don't want to just tell you just that of the third when you're growing in technology and you're growing in spirit and you're growing in direction. So I would like to give you wisdom, but not force the wisdom on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's a balance. We need the young people too. Everything is just repeating itself.
absolutely. Because I mean, we're not going to be around forever.
Yeah, but here's what I think the purpose was kind of supposed to be with life. We're supposed to grow in purpose. So we're supposed to, teach and grow. So and to a certain extent, we have grown. Like it's not the Wild West to what it was before. So in each step we're growing. So something in us is supposed to teach wisdom and tolerance and more things so that we can get to another level spiritually. You know what I mean? Like we're clearly making a choice to follow one trend. If somebody tells you a story and you keep following it, you're a willing participant. You don't have to follow. You don't have to be Romeo and Juliet. Yet we know that it's a part of life. You know what I mean? Your heart doesn't tell you who to love. So you may love somebody from another family that's, you know, a blood and you are from a Crip side or you know what I mean, white and they're black or whatever the case may be. So, but we're growing and we're teaching to learn and grow. I don't see, you know, any other way to put it. Otherwise, we'd still be at square one. But you got to learn that people are steering you a certain way. Industry is steering you a certain way. You know what I mean? And so you have to resist a lot of that. If you're doing it through the church, shout out to you. If you're doing it through Islam, shout out to you. If you're doing it through whatever spiritual journey you're taking, shout out to you. But you need to disengage from things that don't further a better existence for the next generation. And if you're going to say, you're going to kill for it or just leave, it's like, where are you going to go? Wherever you're born at, if you're born in this country, if you're disciplined enough, you're smart enough, and you move, right, you have a good chance at having a decent life for a longer time than they had in past experiences. So we want to increase that. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, if just as is said, if you don't study the lessons of quote unquote his story, you're doomed to repeat them. And it's like, you know, how are, we have to look at how are we making our country, how are we generation? Can we honestly say that we are doing that? And we really honestly need to take a very hard look at ourselves as a country, as individuals, as whatever group that you decide that you want to align yourself with. Are we really making things better for the next generation? And if not, then we need to really start moving towards that.
Exactly. So,
You
how
know,
do we move towards
granted,
that?
understanding, uh, communication, dialogue, true
Definitely
dialogue.
dialogue. Yeah, definitely true
You know,
dialogue, but not coming from a point that just because I've been through it, I know better than you. That's what the young folks don't like about us, about the old heads. I've been through it, so I'm just trying to tell. It's like that's not enough. Tell them the association with been through it. Talk to them. Speak to that. You know what I mean? Bring it down to their level. Bring it down to the honesty of how you really felt at that age. How confused were you? You know what I mean? Because everybody tells the story later like they're the hero in the story. You feel me? It's a book of hero, by
I
the way.
think that's very true because because honestly, at the age of 20, I was confused. Even though I was in the military, I was still trying to figure out who the hell I was. Whether it be, Scott Bass, the soldier, Scott Bass, the, the new jack on the block, whatever you want to call it. But, I had to look towards the old heads for some type of guidance and some type of, hey, when you were my age, and you went through these things, what did you experience? What did you learn? What are lessons that you can impart on me to keep me from falling into those same traps?
I mean, I never listened to people from that point of view because I always wanted. The only thing would make me believe them is if I heard about their pain.
Hmm.
Because everything else is like an illusion. It's like an Instagram or something.
So, so a true, honest, you know, the 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 true, honest uh, reflection of what they went.
You want to hear the most honest thing from a woman? You ask her about her childbirth. They'll tell you more about the pain of going through it. And then when you hear that all that went away when they held the kid is magical. But it's also absolutely true. So if she didn't, if the woman didn't tell me about the pain of the childbearing and the connection, even still after, I wouldn't listen to the lesson. So there's not one person that doesn't listen to the lesson of a woman talking about childbirth. Am I right?
Right? Yes,
You know what I mean? So whether they say, "Oh,
100%.
I took a spinal tap and it was cool," or they say, "Hey, it was 12 hours of agony," or whatever, they're always going to say that whole experience. That's the part that where you connect with a younger generation, because when they talk to you, they're looking at you, your status, your age, your build, whatever. they're looking at you, they're assessing you, and there's nothing about you and how you appear because you're mature, because you've made some measured thoughts in life, and you've done you're going in your direction. So now you're trying to instruct, but there's nothing that looks similar. But the one thing that's similar that's always sounds the same is pain. You know what I mean? So the pain sounds the same. Oh, that's a dope ass bar. It's also a book of Hero, but the pain sounds the same. So when I'm talking about pain, you are identifying with it. You're saying, "Oh shit, that's how you felt. You felt uncomfortable. You felt, yeah, I felt uncomfortable, bro. I felt scared. I felt like, yo, what move am I gonna make? You know what I mean? Can I take this guy? And you know what I mean? Am I raging to get at this mother? What am I going through? You know what I mean? Am I nervous about how am I going to take care of myself? What am I going through? We're talking about the end result to them too much. And they're like, yeah, that's cool, OG. I respect that. But they're like, you ain't living out here. I'm like, yo, I've lived there and this is how I felt. But if you don't want to feel like this, if you don't want to feel like someone's gonna come and get you because you're holding money, you're holding weight, or you got your gold, or whatever the case may be, if you don't want to feel like this is the avenue that you can take. You know what I mean? And I had one of those things where it was like, oh, if someone told me, if I knew what I knew now type thing, right? So on if I knew what I knew now is like I can only give it to you because you're younger. So I'm giving it to who if I'd have knew now. When you're giving advice to younger people, you're giving it to them because it's supposed to be if I knew what I knew now, I can give it to somebody. So it's not if I knew, I have a chance to give it to myself. You are my earlier self. If we talk to them like that, we might get further.
Yeah,
We don't talk to them with enough humility.
I
That's all
definitely
I'm
dig
saying.
that.
You know what I mean? Because now we're stable and they're couch hopping. So we're talking to them a certain way. We're talking down at them. You know what I mean? We're not talking to them face to face like, hey, this is where I was and this is where I am at now. Now I'm strong now and I can do whatever now. But this is what I had to take. But now if I had this kind of reprieve and this kind of advice. Because remember, you can get somebody advice, but if you tell somebody, hey, swim harder, but they're in the middle of the ocean, what the fuck does it matter? You feel me? Like sometimes these so-called gurus are giving advice to people that's straight up bullshit. You know what I mean? That's straight up BS. You know what I mean? Like you're giving advice, yo, do this, young man, and it's like, yo, you don't live in that war zone. How is he getting out of there? You know what I mean? And every place has got one. You know what I mean? What are you teaching? How are you teaching his spirit to be strong? Where is his shelter to be able to grow? Remember, human beings are the weakest creatures on the goddamn planet, damn near. From birth. Most things from birth will fly off, will make their way, no matter how short their life is. They are damn near born already running. You know what I mean? Very few animals need as much security as we do in our infant years, which makes it why people will believe in God or something to that matter because they're like, how the fuck we've all dealt with babies, right, Scott? And they're weak. There's nothing.
Yep.
So you would have to come with an army just for us to flourish. So it would be more than science to prove our existence. It would be more than science because of the infant state that we're born in. It would be more than science. Now everybody would come to their own conclusions of why, you know, or how, from Big Bang to, Jesus, to all kinds of stuff. But the bottom line is that the explanation for an animal or, whatever we are, to be born so weak and be able to dominate so much is ridiculous. Don't you think? Scott, are you stuck?
No, I'm still here.
Can you hear me? I asked you, what did you think?
I, at the end of the day, for us, there's no way that we should be as dominant as a species.
Yeah, you're cutting out. You're, I'm only catching like a couple of words from you, and I have no idea why.
I'm going to come out and come back in.
All right. Well, Scott's gonna pop out and pop back in. And there he went. Another thing I like to talk to you people about out here, to you guys. Sometimes, and a lot of us, excuse the background noise there. I don't know why it's all of a sudden so many people doing so many things. Let me see if that's me. Yeah, maybe it's me. I don't know. Where was I? All right. There's going to be times when new things to you are going to be very, very scary to you. Sometimes you got to just take a deep breath, walk through the door. Hey, Scott, what's up?
Okay. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you do have a delay, and I can hear it. Do you have your echo cancellation on?
I have no echo cancellation button.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you to the computer and get you off the phone so we can get a better connection. I know you're saying something because I can see it glowing, but it might be your Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, at this point in time, it could be anything. Gremlins, the gremlins are out there.
Yeah. Nope. Soon enough, we'll put you on a regular PC. What I was saying before you pop back in was, I was trying to tell the people that sometimes when things are very new to you, and you're trying to find your way around, sometimes you got to take a deep breath and just walk through that door.
The fear of the unknown.
It's one of the things I loved about jumping out of a plane, skydiving. is it's because it's like there has to come a time in life where you're like, fuck it. Is it going to be about really experiencing the full, all out what life has to offer? Or is it going to be burrowing myself in a cave or in a hole? You know what I mean? So when you're jumping out the plane, it's like, boom, I'm here. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Who cares? If the
Yeah,
chute don't open, who gives a fuck?
that's a fact.
You know what I mean? So and then it becomes a constant awareness of, it is a fucking state. It doesn't make you irresponsible too. It doesn't make you want to go out there and, like in the movies, oh, he jumps out of planes and then he does, this and he does that. I'm not Tom fucking Cruise. I'm just saying that certain experiences make you realize, like, fuck it, man. Like, fuck it. It's okay.
It's
Remember, we're being programmed to be less than what we're supposed to be. I mean, you're zipping in and zipping out, man. I'm telling you. See, so I know you said something twice and I can't hear it. Hopefully, when it does the whole thing, it'll put it together because I can't really go back and forth with you because I don't hear you.
I know I know it is kind of.
Yeah, but it's a lot worse. I don't know what it is.
I'll put it on the laptop. See what the laptop has for us tomorrow.
Mm. Well, you have to hook up your phone as the camera for it. You can do that off your laptop, maybe. I don't know. That's what I do. All right. I know I had another thing that I had to cover. All right. There was I don't know what his name is, but he was like a YouTuber, and he goes around doing like a lot of racially provocative skits and stuff, and and approaches regular people and calls them nigger and all this stuff. By the way, he's Caucasian. So this guy is now in jail for, I believe, murder. I don't know all the particulars in it, but I can't look in it like I normally do. I'm gonna make sure my setup is really clean tomorrow with um my moving around. I might have to switch
Are you
cameras.
talking about the guy that court steps actually when he discharged his firearm, the bullet he actually shot himself?
I just know that I believe it's either murder or attempted murder. But anyway, he's assed out. It speaks to, yeah, it speaks to, there's another comedian too. He's I believe he has a murder charge or attempted murder charge too. There's a couple of them, like these people that were far right and they were extremists, and they had comedy, and some of them was actually kind of funny, and some of it was like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? But again, they're making a couple million of dollars if they have a good run before they have a lot of ways of shadow blocking people. So I know that if they're letting all this stuff people get away with all the things that they're doing, like running up on the black person saying, hey nigga, this, that, third, oh it's content, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of weird stuff going on out here like that. And I think that they're pushing it on us. The people that run these, like you won't see too much of me on fucking, YouTube. We're making our stand. We're talking. We're trying to work out our technology and everything else. But even if we had the absolute perfect, we would still have to get through the algorithm. And the algorithm is something that they tell you what the algorithm is. You don't tell them what the algorithm is. You got to recognize that they tell you what the algorithm is. So they'll push on you whatever they're trying to push for that moment. If they want to push COVID, everybody stay in the house, everybody stay in the house. You have some people buck the system, but for the most part, everybody gonna do whatever. All right. If you push anything, if they want to push anything, they can push it because they have your attention. If they have you paying $1,200 for a phone, if they have you paying $1,000, $2,000 for a fucking phone, they have your attention. Facts. So now that they have your attention, you got to ask yourself, what are you consuming? Are you consuming things that's gonna make your day better? That's gonna teach you something? That's gonna teach you how to move? Or are you gonna get something that's just gonna, entertain you, make you laugh? First they dumb you down before they bring you to the slaughter. That's a fact. I'm guilty of the shit myself. I mean, I might have posted something that was ridiculously trash. I got away from that, so you don't have to worry about seeing that anymore. But for the most part, for the most part, our content is going to be, self growth, things that's going on in the world, political positions of, whatever is going on. We don't personally partake in anything. It's not like I'm going to be looking out for somebody to smack up or pepper spray or get pepper sprayed or some weird shit like that, because that's what's going on out here. You know what I mean? Self growth or who you really are is not what's going on. You got a lot of sad men and women out there. Let me say this: there's a lot of people that could be awesome out there, but they're in their own way, and they don't have any support. You know what I mean? Online is where they're being proven to be important. And no matter what, if you have assumably, 2,000, 3,000 people commenting, but it's only on your ass being fat, or you looking like you could be in a certain position. I get it. Go get your money. I can't do that shit. I don't have the body for it. I ain't got no 6-pack abs. I don't have, a makeup person. But I can tell you one thing. I have a lot of wonderful people around me that inspire me to be the best version of myself. And hopefully I inspire them to be the best version of themselves. And I think that counts a lot more than running down on people and doing God knows what just to get people to click on you. That being said, the other day I almost killed myself trying to jump a fence. Now, it looked smooth to everyone else, but it was posted up. I did make it. I stretched, but the dad bod was giving I'm gonna fuck up vibes. Luckily, I made it through it, but I did do that for you guys. You know what I mean? That's as close as you're gonna fucking get to the BS. Other than that, we just gonna have some fun cooking and just talking shit. We're gonna be taking a few trips soon, so we'll be posting up some of those things too. Get out here in the world and do some lives that way. What's going on with you, Scott?
Shoot, I'm starting to get excited about June. June is rolling up on us real quick. Look forward to taking a much needed trip, a little respite to the Bahamas. But
Okay.
but before I hit that, I had a question. Um,
Hmm.
there's an outbreak of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo,
Okay.
and I wanted to know your opinion. I wanted to know if you thought or do you think that this could be the next uh, COVID, a
Um,
new
no,
disease or whatever.
no, because it's Ebola, so it's not new, and neither was COVID. Outbreak wise, it's in Africa. A lot of things from Africa never make it over here, so we know it's a personal assault on the culture and the people of the continent. Um, the thing I was most concerned about would have been what was happening with the rodents, and that could spread. That was just from inhaling, I don't know, huffing the rodent. Just being around the rodents and smelling them or something. Um, that was concerning.
Virus.
That was on a cruise ship. They couldn't get off the cruise ship, and then they're air flying people off, and you seen a body bag type situation. Then somebody got off, and they went back home. So now they're tracing everybody they was in contact with. So that's how that COVID shit went, from one thing to the next so quickly. So that rodent thing, and as a matter of fact, I believe Gene Hackman, when they found him, I believe he died from the same thing, that same rodent thing. So that's something we might want to be aware of. You know what I mean? There's always a
Yeah,
culling of the herd. There's always, shrinking the population. Always. So whatever it is, it'll come, it'll go, and it'll be what it is. But it may be the next big headline. It may spread. It may not. But most things are already here. You know what I mean? Like these guys, these guys do what they want to do. So the Congo, how many things have you seen from the Congo get over here?
concerning was Ebola when
Well, we
thing
had
years
we had
ago.
that threat before, right? We had that threat before with Ebola.
Absolutely.
And nothing happened. So the COVID, how it came about because they released it and they tried to confuse everybody where it came from and this, that, the third. They got that off. But as far as right now, um, especially coming from Africa, even the China thing was far fetched when they knew that shit was, U.S. born. You know what I mean? As far as around the world, that was a coordinated effort. If ever I seen one, if ever I seen one, you know what I mean, and which shows you that your livelihood and what goes on is at bigger powers than you could ever understand. Than you could ever understand. Nor should you. You know what I mean? Like, look at the temperament of most human beings. They don't even have the temperament to deal with reality-based situations, right? Where, oh my God, if people had to make a choice, they would choose their handbag over the world. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty
Hmm.
sad.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but it's true. People hoard stuff like that shit's going with them. You know, on Tuesday we're doing like a major cleaning, like of the garage. Like we're getting shit up out of there. But you got to remember like that even going through that and doing that right there, that's a recognition that everything had its time. That's what this clean is going to be about. That everything had its time. You know what I mean? My past, helped mold me, hopefully to a good version this day. You know what I mean? Over, even though I had my, everyone's had their time, their period where they may have not been the best version of themselves. Mine's a little longer than others. Uh, but the point is, everything has its time, and the opening of the restaurant and is gonna have a good amount of good reflection in there. But again, everything has its time. It's gonna grow, and hopefully, you know, universe willing, and the proper work is put in with the opportunities that are being provided. It'll go generations on, just like McDonald's, just like anyone else. You know what I mean? And it will write its own story. Like we're just the first chapter of the story of, MOBs, mobs, and the sauce and everything else. But build things so that it grows after you, and that your energy will live on afterwards. So, you know, I remember there was a big thing that we used to do when we were younger, and it was like a plant a tree. Remember that? Plant a tree. You know, in life, you need to plant a
Oh
tree.
yeah.
In life, you need to plant a tree. And, you know, if you plant the tree, got strong roots, it's gonna weather a lot of storms, and it's gonna provide for a lot of people. So, back in there we used to plant a tree, plant a tree. Whether it's a real tree or it's, you know, a tree of investments, or, you know, just a tree of a foundation for the next generation. We need to put something out there for them. Oh yeah. Also, we want to shout out Sweet Caroline Classic coming up on the 6th, next month. Mills Cochran is in charge of it, and it's a beautiful event towards Auntie Caroline. Not my physical aunt, but definitely his. And a big part of why I'm able to do what I'm doing right now. So um, it's a golfing tournament. I think it has like a $10,000 hole in one challenge, and a couple other things. It's going to be a great event for a great cause, and so I hope you guys. Where is it at? Estero? Where is it at, Scott?
Yeah. I want to say Estero.
Yes. Okay. So it's in Estero. It's on the 6th. Um, I think they're honestly sold out as far as how many more people can join the tournament, which is amazing. I think so. I think he has like 125 or 130 golfers, and so that's a lot of teams. Um, so that's going to be amazing. So I hope you guys get out to that also. Hey, good thing on the Ebola thing report too, Scott. I forgot all about that. I did see it in passing, and I still didn't get to it. So yeah, good job. Since we didn't have Regina or Christy today, but we were an hour late. But we did go to a dinner engagement and seen how that went, and it was wonderful. Shout out to Judy and Wani Poo. You did. Shout out to them. Amazing meal, amazing company. They had Bordeaux for us. That was dope. Um, just good people. Anything else you want to get to, Scott? Oh yeah, what's going on with the game? Just so I know.
Uh, the Thunder.
No, I'm saying how's the game?
Uh, the finals scored 60 or 70 something. I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, the Spurs they won by about 20 points.
Oh, the Spur won?
Yeah,
Oh, this is getting good.
the Spurs are tied with the
2-2.
Thunder. Next play tomorrow night, baby.
We can be getting a sweep here.
Pull out the push brooms.
Yes. Then wait for everybody else. Rested. Ready. You heard? I'm liking this. All right. Let's
Hey,
wrap. Thank you guys for joining us. Sorry that we're late tomorrow. We will be 100% on time, 9:30 on the dot. Um, we'll promote, make sure that everybody's on board, talking to us at that time. Happy Memorial Day. Please, befriend a veteran. Once again, we like to hear from the Harold Knows Nothing podcast. If nothing else, we know to befriend a veteran. They need you. They deserve your friendship, and you know, do something good. Befriend a veteran on Memorial's Day. These guys need your prayers. All right, from me, Harold, who knows absolutely nothing, and Black Rambo here,
nothing.
who's absolutely in time lag. Uh, we will have it together tomorrow. I swear. All right. Blessings. May the universe hold you guys. From Harold Knows Nothing. See you guys.
Peace.